From Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring, this is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Developing now at 10. Gun violence has rocked the country this weekend from Milwaukee to Buffalo. We start in Buffalo, New York tonight, where 10 people are dead after a shooting inside of a grocery store. The FBI is investigating this shooting as a racially motivated attack and a hate crime. Of the 13 people shot, 11 people were black. Tonight, the shooter is in custody.
When I first saw him shooting, he shot a woman, he shot a deacon, he shot another woman, and then he went in the store and started shooting again.
And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Rob Took. We begin tonight with that mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. Witnesses say a gunman dressed in army fatigues and a helmet walked into a supermarket, then opened fire on shoppers and staff. The suspected shooter was taken into custody. ABC's Phil Lipoff leads us off tonight with those late-breaking details.
Tonight, at least 10 people shot and killed after a gunman walked into a Buffalo supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood and opened fire.
This is the worst nightmare that any community can face.
Several onlookers describing the gunman as a white man dressed in military fatigues. Shoppers running for their lives, people living nearby horrified.
My God, I never thought in my lifetime at my age that I would live to see something like this in my community.
The horrific scene unfolding inside the Tops Friendly Market shortly after 2:30 this afternoon.
Radio, send as many cars as you possibly can.
Buffalo police quickly taking the suspected shooter into custody.
The suspect put the gun to his own neck. Buffalo police personnel, 2 patrol officers, talked the suspect into dropping the gun. He dropped the gun, took off some of his tactical gear, surrendered at that point.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul tweeting late today she's closely monitoring the shooting.
This is a day of great sadness for all of us in the city of Buffalo.
The suspected shooter here just 18 years old and
18-year-old Peyton Gendron made his first appearance in court tonight wearing a white smock. He's been charged with first-degree murder. At arraignment, Gendron's public defender entered a not guilty plea for him. Police say he drove several hours to the grocery store because he is from out of town. And 17 people were injured in a mass shooting overnight in Milwaukee. Police arrested 10 people for the shooting. This happened shortly after 11 Friday night in the city's entertainment district. Milwaukee police say all the victims are between the ages of 15 and 47, and they are all expected to survive. Investigators recovered 9 guns at the scene, and this was the 3rd shooting in the downtown area. In a matter of 2 hours, there were separate shootings, one at the Bar District 40 minutes before, and another outside a Milwaukee Bucks playoff game. 4 people were injured in those 2 shootings. And 1 person was killed and 5 others were injured after a small plane crash landed on a bridge near All-Over Park in Miami today. Now that plane you just saw struck a car with a mother and 2 toddlers inside and burst into flames. The FAA said the single-engine Cessna 172 lost engine power and landed on the bridge. The plane took off with 3 people on board, headed for Key West International Airport. When firefighters arrived, 1 person was tragically found dead inside of the plane. And across Texas tonight, a manhunt continues for a convicted murderer who escaped from prison. That manhunt is happening 2 hours south of Dallas. Now, that inmate, Gonzalo Lopez, stabbed the driver of the prison transport bus. Before his escape, he was behind bars serving a life sentence for capital murder and attempted murder. ABC's Brian Enton has more tonight on the massive search to recapture him.
Search for Gonzalo Lopez continues.
In Centerville, Texas, all eyes are on the woods just west of Interstate 75.
All 13 cars, helicopters, horses, dogs. Sometimes there's been 200-300 people right here.
Seamus Kavanaugh has been watching since this all began Thursday afternoon. He says he figures with this many law enforcement out, Centerville is the safest place in Texas right now. In all, more than 300 law enforcement officers have swarmed this area, and there is now a $15,000 reward for information, leading to the arrest of Gonzalo Lopez.
This man is a very dangerous person. If you see him, do not attempt to take him into custody by yourself. Contact 911. Have local law enforcement deal with him. He is someone not to be reckoned with by yourself.
So why are they so concerned about Lopez? Well, not only did he overpower 2 guards in yesterday's escape, his rap sheet includes several extremely violent attacks.
He has a capital murder conviction out of Hidalgo County. He also has an attempted capital murder conviction out of Webb County. He killed a man in 2005 with a pickaxe after kidnapping the man and asking for a ransom for his return.
And that was Brian Enton reporting. Prison officials say there were 2 guards on the bus. The driver was armed with a handgun but had trouble pulling it out of his holster. The guard in the back of the bus had a shotgun and shot out the back tires when Lopez took control of the bus. Now, Lopez was able to drive the bus at least 1 mile before it crashed and before he escaped into a field where prison guards shot at him, but he was able to make it away. Of course, if you see him, call police. And the Winkler County Sheriff's Office tonight arrested this woman earlier this week at a Love's Travel stop on Highway 302. Deputies say 30-year-old Amy Lorraine Two Babies was being detained for public intoxication when she spat on a deputy. The spitting offense is being considered a 3rd-degree felony. Meantime, the Presidio County Sheriff's Office has wrapped up a burglary investigation at a home near Presidio High School. The homeowner returned home to find their windows open and their house broken into. Valuables and bank checks were gone while deputies were on scene. The sheriff's office said Border Patrol found 31-year-old Luis Hernandez nearby with the stolen items. His mugshot was not available, but the sheriff's office said he was undocumented and has several prior charges for crimes here in the U.S. And in Upton County tonight, the sheriff's office is asking the public, do you know what happened? Early Friday morning, 5 miles east of Rankin on Highway 67, deputies found this Nissan Altima on County Road 230. Arson is suspected. If you saw anything or gave anyone a ride in this area, the sheriff's office asks you give them a call. Demonstrators got together at a rally in Brownsville today in response to the leaked U.S. Supreme Court draft opinion revealing plans to overturn Roe v. Wade. If overturned, 26 states will likely ban abortion. America's split on the issue of abortion came to a head in the state capitol this afternoon. Our Capitol correspondent Monica Madden is in Austin, where former President Donald Trump held a rally at the same time as abortion rights groups protested the potential overturn of Roe versus Wade.
Abortion rights supporters were fired up in Austin Saturday afternoon.
I don't want other women to be forced into something they may not be able to handle.
Activists and elected officials alike protesting the type of legislation that was passed at the state capitol.
You ban abortion when women don't even know that they're pregnant.
The group was met with some anti-abortion activists. We saw many of them later at a dueling event less than a mile away.
It's terrifying to me to think about how many lives have been lost over the last 50 years. And I love the Texas Heartbeat Bill.
Now, this is one of the protests that have been happening today in downtown Austin. A little bit of a split screen of events going on here inside the Austin Convention Center. You had former President Donald Trump speaking to his supporters, while outside you have this group of abortion rights advocates screaming, "My body, my choice," making sure their opinions are heard.
Thank you, Austin.
Inside the convention center, the former president did not mention the possible overturn of Roe versus Wade, instead working to rally people to the polls.
We will take back the House. We will take back the Senate.
The upcoming elections top of mind for speakers at both events.
If you don't support access to abortion, we will not support you.
It's the most important election you've ever had.
When voters will make their voices heard either way.
And taking a live look tonight from our Midland Tower cam, it's starting to cool down just a bit now that the sun has set. A lot of things going on today, and temperatures almost reached triple digits. And get a look at this. The U.S. National Weather Service in Midland posted this photo on Facebook today. They wrote this incredible dust devil captured by a local resident in Midland off Loop 250 near the construction area, a textbook formation with impressive height.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
Rob, it was a scorching kind of heat today. So hot that we kind of sort of did almost reach triple digits. We came in at a high of 99 degrees. Usually this time in May, we're definitely used to 88-degree temperatures, so 11 degrees warmer than usual. A warm day in the basin, but not as warm as we were back in 2003 when we sat at triple digits at 102 degrees. Now I have more of what tomorrow will look like. Will we see our triple digits? I'll have that on soon.
And coming up tonight, the growing concerns for millions of parents as the desperate search for baby formula continues. Shelves are increasingly empty across the country with new limits in place. And this pup is lucky to be alive tonight after winding up on a balcony ledge. That video and the quick rescue next.
When Laura vowed to love me, in sickness and in health, she wasn't thinking about cancer. But here we are. I'm just grateful my team of experts at Texas Oncology is close by, fighting for me, so I can still start my mornings right here. Hey, I need all of this treatment I can get. I'll see y'all tonight.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Well, are we ready for this?
What's next, Grandma?
Hayden, do you want to cut the banana?
Okay, let's do it.
Look at him. Now comes the best part, the Bluebell ice cream. Oh, that's fun. Hey, how about some chocolate? And some sprinkles.
How's this, Grandma?
That looks so yummy. You know, your mom is gonna love this. Don't forget a spoon.
Suddenlink is becoming Optimum, and bit by bit, we're making big changes to reconnect with you, like building Optimum Fiber, a new 100% fiber internet network, and combining it with Optimum Mobile for complete connectivity. We're giving you more flexibility with no forced bundles or annual contracts. And we're here for you with 24/7 support, with your satisfaction backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee. Little by little, progress adds up to something bigger. Reconnecting with you. Let's reconnect.
Dude, great ride, right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. New models are arriving daily. Secure yours today. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Watch Samantha Smarachniak, Matt Fonts, and Ryan DePhillips at 11:30. The Weather Authority forecast.
Well, a hot day in the basin. How hot did we get? We actually reached close to our triple digits. But taking a look at right now, though our sun has gone down, we actually are sitting pretty still warm. Sitting at 83 degrees right now in this moment. Now, the one thing is that our humidity is sitting in the teens, sitting at 15%, our dew point 31, and then our winds are sitting pretty calm, sitting at traveling south, sitting at 10 miles per hour. Our sun did go down around 8:38 p.m. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. Now, before the sun did go down, we did reach a high of 99 degrees. Now, around this time in May, we're definitely used to 88-degree temperatures. A warm day in the basin, but not as warm as here back in 2003 when we sat at 102 degrees. Taking a look at our lows, we did come in pretty warm for that as well. 67 degrees for our low. Around this time in May, we're definitely used to 62-degree temperatures, so we'll definitely take that 5-degree difference. Now, taking a look at the rest of the area, some of us did reach our triple digits in Big Spring, 100 degrees in Snyder, 98, tying with Seminole, in Hobbs, 95, and then in Wink and in Pecos, sitting at 100 degrees, in Presidio, sitting at 103 degrees. So some areas did reach their triple digits. Now tomorrow is actually when we, the middle of this area, will be sitting in our triple digits, sitting at 102 degrees. It's going to be a hot day like today, but it's going to be super hot. Emphasis on the super. Our lows will be sitting at 68 eventually, but you know what? That sun is going to be out all the way up until 8 in the morning. We're going to have a very muggy morning, sitting at 66. By the time we get into noon, that's when we will be sitting at 87, but we don't stop there. We actually will be heating up around 5 p.m. That's when we make it all the way up to 97 degrees. It's going to be a hot afternoon in the area. Now taking a look at some hot temperature tips: drink lots of water, excuse the typo, and then wear some sunscreen, but also limit that outdoor activity. So definitely not bad whatsoever. Now taking a look at that poolside forecast, yeah, we're gonna start off at 69 degrees, very muggy kind of morning by 6 in the morning, but that will help us prepare for what we are expected to see by the time we get into the afternoon temperatures. Now taking a look at what we will be seeing for tomorrow, that allergy report, we'll be seeing our trees sitting at a high level, and our winds will be sitting and our grass tying along with our mold at a low level, but then our dust will be sitting at a moderate level. So the one thing we do ask is that you take the necessary precautions so that you can make the most of your Sunday. Now that 7-day forecast is going to show that tomorrow we will stay at 103 degrees, no chances of any rain, but then we get all the way up until Thursday, and that's when we continue to remain in our triple digit temperatures, 100 degrees on Monday, and then increasing Tuesday up until Thursday at 103 degrees. Now if you want to say we cool down on Friday, then there we go, because we cool down at 99 degrees, and then on Saturday, Rob, that's when we'll be sitting at 96. A very hot, when I say hot, I mean emphasis on the hot for this upcoming weekend for tomorrow.
I don't know why I'm smiling so much. Probably one of the worst things this time of year is getting inside the car. I probably got some burns today when the seatbelt touched my skin.
Oh no, yeah, a lot of us did.
It's the worst thing.
Yes.
Well, thanks a lot, Bridget. Tonight, parents across the country are searching for baby formula. The search is in stores and online after more disruptions in the supply chain. Our national correspondent Kaylee Beeson reports tonight from one of those factories.
I was shaken and in tears. As a mom, I would have never and could have never imagined being in this position.
For the House family, having specialized formula for their 10-month-old daughter Lillian is critical. Difficulty with digestion, prompting Lillian's parents to use a specific brand manufactured at this Sturgis, Michigan plant. Now that formula is in short supply.
I instantly got scared. I was so concerned and so worried. We started with our doctor first, and what they were saying is they too were a little uneducated about what caused the shortage, what's going on with it. And so they just recommended that we try another formula and see how that would work.
Natasha says her doctor's office had several parents requesting sample cans they simply could not provide. So she turned to Amazon to see if the specialized formula could be shipped from other countries, noting some mothers are getting so desperate they're using recalled formula to fill the gaps.
Or what they've had left in stock in their own cabinets because they just can't find what they need now.
We moved as quickly as the problem became apparent to us.
Now the House Oversight Committee is investigating the shortage of formula, pressing manufacturers for steps they're taking to address the issue. Today, the White House announced it's looking at ways to make it easier to import baby formula, while also creating a web portal for parents who need access to specific types. Adding states have now been asked to boost accessibility of formula for women on federal assistance.
How are they going to produce these mass quantities of formula?
Natasha feels the moves are too little too late and fears for children who are now being fed supplements that aren't recommended by doctors.
The baby's mental, physical, cognitive behaviors, stuff like that change if we're doing such things such as making their formula. You know, it's scary.
The door open though, that's all that matters.
Oh, a bit of a terrifying moment caught on camera in Las Vegas. A dog on the edge of a balcony at the Virgin Hotel. You can see it right there, right at the bottom by the title. A man opens the door to pull the pup over the railing. The dog is okay, but it's not clear how the situation got to that point. Terrifying. And it was a hot Saturday in Odessa, but people still spent a lot of time in the city. Of course, in downtown Odessa, a few streets were closed off today for the Flecha Azul Tacos and Tequila Festival. It ended just 1 hour ago on Grand Street between 4th and 6th. The event had live music, food trucks, and of course, way too much food. Our ABC Big 2 staff was also out there today emceeing part of this event. Good to see them there. Now, the first ever Redneck Roundup Classic Car Auction event took place in Stanton today. It was in partnership with Redneck Metal Buildings and Jeff Martin Auctioneers. By noon, almost every car on the lot was sold. The big focus of this event was on classic cars.
And we're just trying to invite everybody to come out the next time. They at least experience looking at the cars if they don't have anything for sale, but at least come out and experience it. It's quite an experience going to one of these auctions. We had a 55 Chevy convertible. We had 10 convertible cars out here. We had a 57 Plymouth. We had a 53 Chevy convertible. We had just tons of convertibles out here. It was really a neat experience seeing that many convertibles. We had some NASCAR race cars for sale. We had a good variety of cars of different kinds and different types, so I was really excited about that.
And Clarence said auction is the way to go because, as he says, there's less of a headache involved to get rid of your car and to buy your new car.
And now your ABC Big 2 Sports.
Fans had beautiful weather today for the Grand Prix at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Grand Prix is almost a precursor for the 500, and for the first time in 3 years, there were no COVID-19 restrictions at all. ABC's Mike Sullivan is at the track with more from the fans.
It must be May, if not for the smell of rubber to pavement, but that sound. That all too familiar sound.
It's been 3 years since we've been able to have everybody that wants to come into the gates.
But here it is, the GMR Grand Prix, the gateway to the Indy 500.
We've been coming since the late 70s, about every other year.
Like many, Mike Klopinski has become a historian, basking in the tradition.
All our heroes are retired or dead. Bobby, Al, Johnny Rutherford, AJ, that was the heyday of racing.
Those names now replaced with the signatures of drivers like Scott McLaughlin.
To have those years where you couldn't give the autographs was really, really challenging.
Those moments create generational memories. It's what built the IndyCar fan base as we know it. Just ask IMS President Doug Bowles.
I love it because my dad did. My dad loved it because his dad did.
Soon, Sophia Kaiser will love it.
I think she knows there's race cars driving really fast, and it is very loud.
Her family lives within walking distance of the track.
You have to be a part of it when you live here. It's so much fun.
If somebody brings kids, really since 2016 I've done these kids pins, these president pins, and so they've been different every year. So this year I've got it back home again, which is our theme.
Back home again in Indiana, where the sun shines bright.
Plenty of sunscreen, sunglasses, lots of beverages.
But the weather is always unpredictable.
Good news is if it rains a little bit tomorrow, these guys can run in the rain on this road course.
Here's the return of May.
And up next tonight, cryptocurrency is starting to rebound after a massive sell-off. What this means for your investments and the economy.
Permian Basin Gives is a one-day event encouraging area residents to create meaningful impact through the nonprofits that serve our communities. Join ABC Big 2
and Fox 24
in supporting this community effort.
Help local nonprofits ensure that the area receives critical services and support.
Watch ABC Big 2
and Fox 24
as we spotlight some of these organizations leading up to Permian Basin Gives Day on May 17th.
For more info, visit PermianBasinGives.com.
Dude, great ride, right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Very well qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Whoever you are, you have a style. And we want to help you own it. Because anyone can sell you clothes. We've got the brands, the value, and the inspiration you need so you can own your style.
In this post-Christian era, in this day and age, God is looking for faithful, courageous, uncompromising men and women. God is looking for those who are sold out to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Go and tell, make disciples. As the Father sent me, I send you. That is the message, the last words that he left them with before he was ascended into heaven.
Join Dr. Youssef. Check your local listings. Get ready for your day with meteorologist Ryan DePhillips.
New at 10 tonight, the state of the crypto economy. It's been a brutal week for cryptocurrency. So what does that mean for investors and the economy? ABC's Deidre Bolton has those details.
From individual investors,
The Coinbase crash definitely broke my heart.
to sports teams' marketing departments,
We're disruptors. Here, we create our own future.
to companies such as Coinbase, who made a huge Super Bowl ad buy. All are feeling the thud of crypto's fall, with the White House saying as many as 40 million Americans own cryptocurrency.
Crypto goes in waves with higher peaks and lower troughs. And so we're just rounding out the bottom of one of those cycles right now with crypto.
Bitcoin hit a high of 68,000 in November 2021. It is now trading around $30,000, losing more than half its value in 6 months. Even if you personally don't invest in crypto, public companies like Tesla do. Cryptocurrency and stock markets both showing high volatility. The S&P 500 down more than 15%, the tech-heavy NASDAQ down more than 25% since January. It's unclear to what extent the crypto meltdown is affecting stocks, but neither's fall is good for investor sentiment, nor for consumer confidence or spending.
I immediately moved my assets over to a password-protected safe wallet. That way, no one can take my assets.
Upping the ante, a major retirement plan operator, Fidelity, will soon allow investors to put some of their 401k savings into Bitcoin.
To make sure that the risks are really understood and highlighted, and that people are thinking twice before they too readily, to kind of the hype and the commercials and all the noise that's around cryptocurrency in particular.
Along with the Labor Department and the Treasury Secretary, Democratic Senators Elizabeth Warren and Tina Smith are sounding the alarm. The senators wrote to Fidelity asking it to address the, quote, significant risks of fraud, theft, and loss associated with the assets.
Crypto technology will end up powering new things, new types of networks, new services on the internet, where the people using them may not necessarily know that they're using crypto.
And coming up tonight, the latest on showbiz. New releases are coming out of Hollywood this weekend. Which ones you can watch from your living room? Next.
ABC Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
Tell me this is on sale. You bet. And during the Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row, you'll find tons of great savings. Like the more you buy, the more you save. Plus, get 6 years, no interest financing. The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Furniture Row.
From Nigerian royalty to poverty, from the Navy SEALs to the silver screen, this U.S. veteran's unbelievable journey to excellence.
Person can't be this lucky.
He joins us live on Morning in America, Monday, only on News Nation.
And what you're looking at is breaking news right now.
We just got to where this police chase ended.
One nationwide manhunt, and only News Nation broke the story. Not CNN, not Fox News, not MSNBC. News Nation, news for all America.
Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. GMC, we are professional grade.
Don't miss the Flecha Azul Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 14th, downtown Odessa. Presented by Ron Hoover RV and Marine, along with Downtown Odessa Inc., KMID Big 2, and West Texas Radio. Tickets are on sale now at WTXEvents.com. Enjoy amazing tacos, food trucks, Flecha Azul Premium Tequila, contest, and a concert from the Damn Torpedoes, a tribute to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Don't come around here.
The Flecha Azul Tacos and Tequila Festival. Go to WTXEvents.com.
It's the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99, plus 6 years no interest and free shipping. The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
Well, now to Hollywood. Some new releases are rolling out this weekend and heading straight to streaming services. If you plan on staying in this weekend, it's a perfect time to check it out. Here's ABC's Jason Nathanson with more on what Hollywood has to offer.
So we've met then?
Yes.
It's a time travel love story. The Time Traveler's Wife debuts Sunday on HBO with stars Theo James and Rose Leslie, playing a couple navigating the challenges of a husband who might disappear to another year at any moment. And they tell me there are some very specific rules in this universe.
He has no control over when or where.
And for how long?
Or for how long, yeah. So then where is he?
He also can't go anywhere outside his own life.
Success is all about momentum.
New today on Netflix, The Lincoln Lawyer was a popular book series, then a Matthew McConaughey movie, and now it's a TV series starring Miguel Garcia Rulfo, who tells me that to take on this role as a Mexican actor means everything to him.
That's the great thing about America, that you have everything from, it doesn't matter where you come from, you can make it.
Also new today, The Kids in the Hall are back for a revival of the beloved Canadian sketch comedy show that's on Amazon Prime Video, and Sunday on Hulu. The team behind the 2020 hit Normal People returns with their next adaptation of a Sally Rooney novel, Conversations with Friends.
And coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay with us.
T-Bone by the Munchies, the ultimate chili pie topped with bacon, grilled jalapenos, and grilled onions will have you back on your feet in no time. Dial star, 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 star. The ultimate chili pie is only available at the Ultimate Drive-In. Stars.
The race to the finale is heating up. The top 5 travel to Vegas to be mentored by Carrie Underwood.
This is your moment.
And your vote decides the final 3. American Idol live Sunday on ABC.
You had me at Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. GMC, we are professional grade.
You've been counting the days, weeks, months, just waiting for the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Or save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a free $300 gift. Plus 6 years no interest and free shipping. The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
T-Bone by the Munchies, the ultimate chili pie topped with bacon, grilled jalapenos, and grilled onions will have you back on your feet in no time. Dial star, 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 star. The ultimate chili pie is only available at the Ultimate Drive-In. Stars.
Well, the weekend has arrived and it's a hot one, not just for today, but also for tomorrow, sitting at 103 degrees. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to continue to remain in our triple digits. If we want to say we cool down, then we do by 99 degrees, or we cool down by 1 degree, causing us to sit at 99 degrees. Rob, all I got to say is that it's going to be hot.
And hydration, lip balm, all that good stuff. Sunscreen, of course, turning redder by the day.
Oh, stop it.
All important information there, Bridget. Thank you so much. And that's all the time we have for news. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 10.